Growl, growl, prowl, prowl. So I just wanted to make a quick video on the topic of developers versus fans and customers. I'm going to ask the question to you guys. What do you think should be done about video games and companies in general? Should they be run exclusively by the executives? Should they be run exclusively by the fans and the customers that buy the products? Or maybe a combination, a synergistic relationship between the two? For me personally, I'm more and more leaning towards the latter, having them run by both parties. Because what we've had for most of time is developers and companies doing what they want to do and then hoping and praying that it sells well with the general public and with their established fan base. So, a perfect example of this would be Resident Evil. Resident Evil 6 took a turn for the worse as far as most fans are concerned. Most fans, I think you could, ask about Resident Evil 6 and they would tell you it was not a great game, not a great Resident Evil game by any stretch. So then the developers listened to the fans, they listened to our feedback on 6, and then they came out with 7 like 6 years later. And 7 revitalized the entire franchise. 7, in my opinion, saved the franchise from utter obliteration. So it baffles my mind when these companies make these decisions on their games without consulting or asking the fans or the consumers. Because to me, there's two sides to this, right? There's the people that believe, it's the developer's product, it's their IP, they own it, they can do whatever they want, right? They can make the game or the product that they choose. Yes, I agree. However, if you make a product that's different or doesn't sit well with the established fan base, with the established consumers, it's not going to sell. You see? So, Joseph Staten from Halo, the creator, the writer of Halo, the Halo games, 1, 2, 3, and Reach. Incredible visionary, incredible artist. I believe he said during the development of Destiny, back in like 2010 or 11, like a long time ago, 10 years ago, when he was still on the team at Bungie, he said, we're creating this world and creating this game that is so vast, so wide, that eventually our goal is to make it more of for the fans. It's going to become the fans' product, the consumer's product, more than it is ours. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. See, to me, companies in general are severely underutilizing surveys and the simple act of talking to the fans and talking to the consumers about what they want in the next product. It blows my mind how they don't do this. They just go and they live in their own little bubble, and they create something in their own little bubble, and then it comes out and it turns out the fans don't like it, and then, everybody freaks out. It's like, this is so stupid. To me, any company, you only exist, like, to me, the power should be with the people. The majority of the power should be with the people. You see this with Nintendo. Look at the way Nintendo makes their games, Mario, Zelda, Pokemon especially. 720p, 30 frames a second, glitches everywhere, terrible animations, Breath of the Wild, 900p, less than 30 frames, like things that are unacceptable in my opinion. Then you look at the fans, you look at the fan art and the fan creations. We got people recreating Zelda games in Unreal Engine 4, and people are doing this by themselves, alone. A single human being is making products that are greater, more higher quality than Nintendo, than the companies themselves. We've got Resident Evil fans modding the game, making it better than what the developers do. So, to me, these companies are idiotic. They're delusional, thinking that they can just create anything that they want and it's going to sell. No, once you create a product, to me, you can retain the IP, the intellectual property. But if you want to continue to sell and do well, the people that love that product, they spend even more time with it than you. Like, think about the speedrunners and the guys that play all these games constantly. They adore the product. Even like, look at Tesla with the Tesla cars. The consumers, the people that own the car, that drive it 24/7, they're around the product. They're exposed to it even more than the top executives, who are in their offices most of the time just working. So the people that are consumers, they know the product, they know the company better than the executives themselves, in my opinion. So I think surveys should be utilized to the utmost. God of War just got delayed, right, to 2022. I haven't seen anything. No one asked the fans what they want. You know, they could do simple surveys. What do you want our next game to be? They could just be the most high-level, simple questions. Do you want our next game to be rated T? Do you want it to be rated M? Would you prefer a dark story, gritty and bloody? Would you prefer a more fantastical, magical type thing? They could ask the most simple questions and gain an absurd amount of valuable, knowledgeable feedback to implement into their products. But they don't. They live in their ivory towers, all these companies, and think that they can just do whatever they want and it's going to sell and it's going to do well. And then when it doesn't do well, nobody wants to take the blame. Nobody wants to be held accountable for the failure. It boils my blood, man. It makes me so mad. But I love it that Joseph Staten, one of my favorite visionaries in the video game space, he said that about Destiny. I'm pretty sure it was about Destiny long ago in one of the interviews or one of the vidocs of the game coming out. Destiny 1, before it ever released. He's like, we're building this world and this universe that eventually is going to become more of the fans than it is ours. And that's how it should be, man. The fans should be like, okay, where do we want to go next? Everybody could vote. You want to go to Saturn? Do you want to go to Neptune? Whatever, The fans should have a say, but I can't think of any company, man. I really can't. I can't think of any company where the consumer and the fan has a direct line of communication to get their voices heard and their feedback heard by the company. No, nobody. I try to give feedback to Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, all these companies, and tell them how to improve their products. Tesla, where is the feedback page? Where is the surveys for fans, for customers, for the consumer? Where are they? Where are the interviews talking to fans, People that love and live and breathe the game. Live and breathe the product. Like Tesla should be hiring the most die-hardcore Tesla fans that own the vehicles. Capcom should be hiring the most die-hard Resident Evil fans. Xbox should be hiring the most die-hard Halo fans. Oh, sorry about that, guys. My phone died. Or the low battery came on, which cut off the video. But yeah, so I think that the developers and companies in general are completely underutilizing their fans, their customers, the consumers' point of view and perspective. Now, is everybody going to agree? No, but you want to try to please as many people as possible, right? Like if you make something that everybody likes, you're gonna create something that nobody loves, and I totally understand that. But you still want to get a gauge. You still want to get a feel for what consumers are into, what they're willing to put their money into. If you're thinking about certain designs or concept art, show us concept art, little things, pictures of the game, pictures of a product, and let the fans give you feedback. Let the people who are going to buy the product give you feedback. I think that's the absolute best way to do it. But I don't see a single company doing that at all. Truly taking the feedback of the players, of the consumer, into account, and then adjusting the product in the pipeline and the future release of those products accordingly. So that's it. Just wanted to talk about that. Fans versus developers. Who do you think should be in control? Because to me, I think the fans are more passionate than developers. I think the fans are more skilled than developers, and they spend more time with the products than developers, because a lot of times the developers are just doing it for a paycheck, you guys. They're doing it because it's their job to make money, right? The guy sitting there coding the grass in God of War or whatever the heck, Yeah, they might be a diehard fan, they might. But we know at the end of the day, they are doing it because they have a job and they're doing it for a paycheck, versus the people that make the mods and that create these games in Unreal Engine for free. They do it because they love it. They have their own job. They work at Wegmans or Starbucks or wherever the hell they work, and they come home and they spend their free time working for free to create a better product. The end-all be-all of this argument to me is Pokemon. If you just look at Pokemon designs and you look at Pokemon renders of fan art of what fans create versus the actual Pokemon that Nintendo comes out with, it's a joke. There's no comparison. There's no comparison. The love and passion that the fans put into their products is 10 times greater than what we get in real Pokemon games. Like Sword and Shield, guys, that game looks like a GameCube game. The graphics look like freaking GameCube. It's unacceptable to me, The pop-in, the animation's terrible. Freaking terrible, man. The fans can do better. The fans can do better, and that's what I'm learning as time goes on. I truly believe that fans can create better products than any of these companies because we have more passion. We do it for free. We don't do it for money. We do it because we love the art. That's just what I've observed. What about you guys? Do you still think that developers should be totally in charge of their products? Because in my opinion, they're just, most of them, 90% of them, destroying their products. Look at Konami. Look at Metal Gear. You guys want Metal Gear to stay in their hands, huh? They own the IP. You want it to stay with them? I'm fucking done. I'm done. Give the fans the power.